procrastinated before. Okay, so that's like everybody, including myself. I'm also guilty of procrastinating. But as Benjamin Franklin states, don't pull off until tomorrow what you can do today. Everyone procrastinates, and it's not a way to go. It becomes a bad habit, a really bad habit. Many of you guys can relate to procrastination and know it's a pain. So today I'll be going over the different types of procrastinators and how we can prevent from procrastinating. So onto my main point. There are 3 types of procrastinators. The first one would be the avoiders. Have you ever found yourself avoiding an assignment simply because you feared of failing? So I had this really big panel, and it was a panel that determined whether I move up in my job or I stay where I'm at. And I wanted the promotion so much that it scared me, where I just put it off and I just ignored it and I avoided it. But that was the first step into me and into being like responsible and an adult. In Simple Most, it stated that this group of people specifically avoids decisions or actions because they are scared to death at how they'll feel once the job is done. With avoiding what you need to do, I believe it just gets harder and more complicated. And the second type of procrastinator is the optimist. The optimists, they tend to pull off assignments because they find it easier to do than other assignments, or simply because it's faster to complete, or just because the due date is like far from now. And I tend to leave assignments just because I think it's easier than others, and I tend to just leave it because it has a long due date, which is really bad because I forget it, and then I won't do it until like the last minute. But I find it as if I was overconfident and that I'll get that assignment done, which has become a bad habit. So the third type of procrastinator is the pleasure seeker. It's those who find a gain in doing the work. So for the pleasure seeker, it's as if like you ask yourself, well, I ask myself all the time, like, what do I get out of this assignment? And of course you don't get anything, but you get to pass this class and you get a good grade. So did you guys find yourself as one of these procrastinators? Now onto my important main point. There are many ways to help prevent procrastinating, but these are ones that I find important and that I use myself. So I set a set schedule, and working 21 hours every week becomes really hard because I do go to school full time and then I work, and it becomes really difficult. But having a set schedule where I lay out my week makes me able to finish my homework and still have time for myself. It's the importance of time management. Having good time management makes sure you stay on top of yourself and constantly getting stuff done and off your list. As Smartsheet says, set up good habits for life, learn to balance multiple roles, and improve performance. Once you have a set schedule, it makes things go so much more smoothly. For example, I know how much college kids love to sleep, because I do too. And making a daily schedule helps you stay organized, so therefore you can get in bed in time instead of cramming everything in one night. Many of you guys heard the word prioritize, but do you understand the importance behind it? Clara Service stated, if you don't prioritize, you end up trying to handle too much tasks at the same time that may result in failure and low productivity. So I prioritize my school and work. That's the only thing that I do, but I also prioritize my time outside of school and work, because you don't always want to just have school and work. But that's why setting a set schedule for yourself helps you have time for yourself. So remember these 2 words, schedule and prioritize. It will kick in some more sleep for us college students. So now to sum up my speech, I reviewed 3 types of procrastinators and 2 ways to prevent procrastinating. Remember, procrastinating becomes a bad habit. Like Bill Watterson said, a day can really slip by when you're deliberately avoiding what you're supposed to do. Thank you.